you today. Today's just going to be you and the brand ambassadors painting, so I hope you can all join along. That'd be absolutely wonderful. It was neat to watch Susan and Anna yesterday. And okay, so Leticia, you want to start?
Yes, so today we are talking about the gouache. So you have invented, created the new gouache line with the luminescent. So yesterday we talked about the luminescent watercolors. Now today we are talking about the gouache. See the difference? Sorry, I apologize for my son. So this is the difference between the gouache and the watercolors. So mind the logos and mind also the writing. So the here. So also this is the pearlescent white is available. And also we have the beautiful electric blue. Just see the difference. Just mind the logo. And then we have iridescent gold. We have the iridescent Aztec gold. We have the iridescent copper. We have the iridescent sandstone. Again, the iridescent electric blue. And the iridescent moonstone. And only the one duochrome mauve. And you can find all the gouache here on the brochure on the back near the Primatech line. So you find on the bottom, you find the colors. And I also already watch these colors, so the duochrome mauve. This is a cold press paper, it's a sketchbook. The iridescent moonstone, the sandstone, and the antique gold, the copper. You can see the iridescent gold and the iridescent electric blue. I have another page where I did the pearlescent. So this is the gouache, the pearlescent white, and up the pearlescent white in watercolor. So if I try to compare, they're quite the same, but obviously the gouache is opaque and it is more matte. So meanwhile, while Giovanni and Ashley will play, I can do some swatches, also me on a bamboo paper. So let's try it together. So thank you, and I give the line to Giovanni, who is playing with us.
Awesome.
Another thing is you don't find the luminescent gouache in the colors to try. They are only the first regular. So just that. You have to buy them if you try.
Okay. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, fine.
Okay, perfect. Sorry for I have bad connection today. And today I have a comparison from the gouache and watercolor, the same color yesterday. The first is a iridescent moonstone on a mastone. Very beautiful color. And in watercolor, okay, it's very light. Very different. The second color is Aztec gold, very strong gold in gouache. Okay. And in watercolor. Remember that people is the same pigment, same binder, but the gouache is opaque. And the third color is iridescent sandstone in gouache. And in watercolor, it's very light color. It's beautiful combination of these three color for the Christmas card project. The fourth color is iridescent gold, another shade of gold in gouache and in watercolor. Another beautiful color is duochrome mauve in gouache. I love this color because I have a beautiful shade on the black paper when I use it with a lot of water. For example, in watercolor, very light. I have this light violet and beautiful sparkling. Another beautiful color is iridescent electric blue in gouache. Very strong color on black paper. And in watercolor, it's very light. Okay. Another color is iridescent copper and gouache. And in watercolor, is perfect for the shade on metal effect object. Okay, and the last is a pearlescent white in gouache. In this case, is similar to light gray sparkling. And in watercolor, is very light. This is the same binder and pigment, but it's completely opaque now. For example, when the gouache is starting to dry, is check the opacity in this line. And with this color, I created this Christmas candle. Okay, little zoom, sorry. Apply for this. Okay, and created the effect start with the gouache iridescent electric blue on this part. In this case, is not much tone, but is 30% of water on gouache. And iridescent copper on the dish. I created a layer, and when dry, apply another detailing. The light using the iridescent gold. Wash. And waited to dry this part for apply the gouache with a lot of white. And these leaves, I'm mixing iridescent electric blue with 1 point of copper for create another blue shade, and iridescent gold for create little green and gray. after all the color drying is the contouring with iridescent gold with a small brush. Okay, here is another point of iridescent electric blue inside. Okay, the candle use the duochrome mauve. Very funny to play this color. In this case, I use a lot of water. I love this effect. Okay, another part is for this part of the reflection of candlelight, duochrome mauve and iridescent gold mixing. More gold. And apply and mixing directly on paper. And iridescent Absdec gold and iridescent gold for the light reflection. I contour before only this line and with water. Create the effect. Okay. Now the balls is a copper strong in this part because the light reflection, and in this part I iridescent copper and iridescent electric blue for dark mode. The copper is, and the final, this part is a moonstone. Outside.
Gio and Letty, we have a question on the Facebook side asking about the black paper. Does it have a name? Thank you.
This is a normal black paper, students. I write the brand in the chats.
The 100% cellulose black paper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is a sunstone for the reflection. Okay, now after waiting to dry and the contouring with a small brush, tiny brush, all the design. This color with gouache is very, very perfect for this Christmas presentation. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. It's very pretty.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Shall we have Ashley? There you go.
Awesome. Okay. Hello, everybody. All right. Before I start with this, I just wanted to show one from, it was like 2 years ago. We talked about these gouache. And so I wanted to show these swatches here. I know we've seen swatches today. but I just wanted to show those. And then this bird that I did with gouache, but I used all of the iridescent colors on it in some way. And so it just gives it that little pop on all those feathers. So these can be used like if you are a gouache painter and you want shimmer, or if you're a watercolor artist and you want an extra opaque pop, which is kind of what I'm doing over here. I was gonna swatch these. Maybe I will later if we have time. But so I've got my my dots ready to swatch. But I want to show you what I'm working on. So I'll be working on this, and I'm doing watercolor and the iridescent gouache together. So let me zoom you on over to my little Italian man here, not to be confused with Giovanni. I accidentally,
This is
yeah.
our Pinocchio. Pinocchio.
Yeah, I actually got
Pinocchio.
this.
It's called Pinocchio.
Yeah, I got my little Pinocchio in Florence a couple years ago. And this one has hung on our Christmas tree for like 20 years. I don't know where it came from, but they just make me happy. So anyway, so what I'm doing is I've just been doing some fun like sketchbook play. This is a smooth paper. It's like a mixed media. Speaking of Italy, it's a Fabriano Venezia sketchbook. So it's great for watercolor, but it's not like meant for watercolor. But it's a lot of fun to play on because you know how when Angela uses watercolor on like a hot press paper, it kind of allows things to like puddle up and the granulation to come out. I want to show you how cool this is. So this is his legs and his arms and his face are the iridescent antique gold or Aztec gold, sorry. And I'm loving the granulation that's kind of happening right here. Look at that. It's incredible. And the fun thing about this is you can keep layering. So this is watercolor. So the red and the green is all watercolor. And then what I'm planning on doing is just using these shimmery colors to add some pizzazz, to have some fun with it. So
But we have a question on Facebook real quick for the presenters. The question is, shimmer doesn't come up on photocopies. Am I correct? Is it possible to photocopy the shine?
it's really hard because it's the paint reflects light, right? And so if you photograph it and you have it at a certain angle, you can see the shimmer. But if you're having it scanned, you can't really see it as well. That's been my experience. Maybe someone else can speak to it a little bit better, but I would say in general, no.
Thank you. Does anybody else have experience with this?
If you have a print that is on a fine art paper, you may be able to enhance it with some shimmer after it's printed. No, don't use a lot of water on it.
We had a presentation a couple years back of a gentleman that painted fish that did that on all of his prints. Thank you.
It works.
So these gouache dots are kind of dried. They've been on here for a little bit, but what I love is how they re-wet, just like watercolor. I am obsessed with this iridescent electric blue. I know we talked about the watercolor version yesterday. It's just, even without the shimmer, it's a beautiful color. It's just, oh, it's so pretty. So what's really fun is we talked about a lot of these colors over the past little bit in watercolor. And so someone might ask, why would I choose the gouache version over the watercolor version? And the short answer is opacity. So with the gouache, you get it, they just pack a punch. Look at that. There is so much pigment. That is literally the only difference between the gouache and the watercolor. Same binder, same pigment, just a lot of pigment. Carol asked what my paper is. It's just, it's the Stonehenge watercolor. paper. But you know what? I've used this and I've just used like what Giovanni is using. I've used just like black, I don't know, craft paper. It's it's fine either way. This has a little bit of a texture to it, which makes it kind of fun.
Mm.
And then here's the duochrome mauve. I gotta wake this little guy up. They got bored waiting for me and they fell asleep, so we gotta wake them back up. Look at that. It's so pretty. Now, if you water it down too much, it negates the whole point of buying gouache. So what's really cool is make sure, like if you're buying gouache, use it like gouache and make sure not to water it down too much like I am right here. It's not easy. And gouache is so different than watercolor. So when you switch from gouache or from watercolor to gouache, it is such a learning curve. Because you're so used to adding a certain percentage of water, like Giovanni talked about. And so it's just a whole other world. But I'll work on this and we can go back to Letty if she's ready. She's ready. Okay. She's doing double duty today.
I'm ready. I'm doing some mixes. So showing the palette. So duochrome mauve with the Moulton. Then we have the iridescent gold with the electric blue. And the iridescent santan with the electric blue. And so this is the effect on the paper. So just mixing before on the palette. And also Moulton. Okay. I'm using them very, very creamy, so some kind, so they leave some marks of the brush. So, I'm doing some test with I'm adding duochrome mauve again, and I want to try duochrome mauve with the iridescent copper together. So let's see, they are quite similar. Shade. Just a little bit of water just to mix very well. Yeah. A kind of pink. Shh. Okay. This is the result of iridescent copper and duochrome mauve until it dries like this. It's a little bit shimmering, but as you can see, the shimmers in the camera doesn't work so much because the lenses don't catch very well. That's why the photocopy cannot work because they cancel the any shimmer. And that's we can mix the iridescent of the gold. Also, another try. Just the gold with maybe we can try with the Moulton. Let's try what we got. So this is a perfect gold and silver. What we can get. We try a little bit. Okay, creamy. Silenzio. Okay. Let's see. It's a kind of metallic beige. We say it's a color like a bird that is called tortora. A kind of metallic tortora. I don't know which is the name of the bird in English. But it's a kind of a pigeon. Pigeon. Okay. And this is Atte Gold and Moulton. Oh, I think it's quite okay. Okay. I can try what else. And the water is all the mixes are here.
Magic.
Yes, I love it. The metallic effect. With rice, the metallic comes out. So you can see on the palette. So usually me, I mix first on the palette, then on the paper. So now the mountain is coming out with the bright and the shimmers. And also mauve is changing some colors, so sometimes it's light and dark. And also the electric blue, yeah, and the gold. Very, very beautiful mixes, electric blue and gold. It's really quite interesting green. Thank you. I go to Giovanni back. And so, thank you.
And continues the decoration. In this case, I'm contouring all with a iridescent gold, and now I created the detailing with Aztec gold. And created check the opacity with the gouache when drying. It's very perfect for this. I love it. And then now in the leaves, I create a green with iridescent electric blue and iridescent gold. And apply a little shade of this electric green. Love it. It's very curious when I paint in gouache, because when I paint in watercolor, my mind is in a negative, because I use the white. The first I use the white for the paper, and after I use the white for the shade, so for create the pastel tone. But in gouache, I come back in a positive mode, because I use the white after for the point of light. And very, very curious for me this change. This application and another light is of iridescent gold. Okay, now outside the same with Aztec gold, but with a tiny flat brush. Use these techniques with a lot of water and create the reflection of the And after the drying, I replace the line with iridescent gold for the definition of the line. In this case, I have a sparkling together. And I'll check the opacity of the gouache. For example, the difference, I use the iridescent gold on watercolor in this line, and why the waterfall is a different great shade, and when dry have a different reflection, wash and watercolor, and continues to apply the detailing. Thank you again.
Thank you, Gio.
Thanks, Gio. We invite Ashley again. All right. Back to you,
Yep, I'm
Ashley.
still here. Thank you. I'm still here plugging at it. I got these swatched out so that you can see. Oh man, I just love the way they pop on the black paper. The iridescent sunstone is so pretty. I can't even describe it. You just have to see it in person. But when it shimmers, it's pink, but it's gold, but it's just got all these little nuances happening that are just so lovely. You really just have to see it in person. Let's put some over here. So creamy. I love how creamy these are as well. If you've tried gouache and didn't like it, try Daniel Smith gouache, because that is exactly the experience I had. I had tried every brand of gouache I could get my hands, and it's not cheap. Like all the other, just trying to find something that works. I spent a lot of money, and then I invested in a couple tubes of Daniel Smith, and it was like night and day, total game changer. It's so smooth, it's so creamy, it's palatable. Most squashes, you can't put them in a pallet and let them dry because they crumble. Not Daniel Smith. I put some in a pallet and kind of left it for months. And I thought when I went back, it would be kind of a mess. Not one crack. I'm not even kidding. So if you've tried gouache and given up on it, but you haven't tried Daniel Smith gouache, I urge you to give it another shot. Especially these lovely shimmery, magical. What does Sabina say? Shimmer, glimmer, and glow. She says it way better than I do. Okay, so we have those swatched out. Look at that iridescent copper. It's so pretty. So I've been working on my little Pinocchio man over here. And I was using the pearlescent white for the shine. So he's got a lot of shine happening on his hat and on his body, on his head. You can see that. And so those are some ways you can utilize these luminescent colors, is if you just want a little pop of something, especially with the gouache, because you can really layer it on thick and get that lovely opacity. I don't think anybody's talked about this, but I also like to mix these and see what I can get. So I like to take, let me, got my palette over here. I want you to see my palette so that you can see what I'm up to. I'm going to take some of this beautiful iridescent electric blue. Get it all juicy. And see what happens when we add some iridescent gold. Iridescent gold was my very first luminescent color I inherited from someone. And man, I used up that tube so fast. But it just adding a little bit of another color, it just shifts the color ever so slightly and gives it some depth. So here we go. We'll put it next to here. Do you see what that did? It's got a like a turquoise quality now. It's darker, it's more moody. But if you could see in person, because we're adding, so the iridescent gold has a gold shimmer to it. And adding a little bit of that to the blue it gives it almost a green shift when you tilt the paper. So let's see if we can see it. We're going to do some paper tilting today. I don't know if you can, probably not, but
Yeah,
it's so pretty. And look at his legs. Look what's happening. So you can see where I used it really thick. And I've got, look at the shimmer, you guys. Oh my gosh. It's so fun.
Ashley, I'm in love with that brush you've been painting with. What is it?
These are gouache brushes by Sarah Burns Studio. They're really stiff. So I like to use like a flat, stiff brush with gouache. So, yeah, those are great.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I tell you what, I have bought so many brushes and what I'm learning is the magic's not in the brush. It's in the brush mileage. So I've regretted a lot of purchases over the years. And I've decided to just stop buying brushes for a while if I can behave myself. You guys get it, right? Okay, so I've got a little bit of blue in my iridescent gold. Let's mix that together and see. So you don't just have to use these as they are, although they are beautiful as they are. But gosh, we're creatives. We are artists and we use a little thing called creative license. And we do what we want. So have some fun. Because there's 8 colors here. And when you start playing and mixing, you're just multiplying the possibilities of color. This one, if I were to like water it down, it reminds me of the the oceanic. I think the duochrome oceanic. That's what it looks like. So pretty. I think somebody's mic is on.
That would be mine. I was wanting to share some comments that we have on Facebook, but I didn't.
Yeah, go for it. No, you're good. Go for it. You have to interrupt me.
Ashley, you're so good about encouraging us to use mileage on the brush, about getting to used to how it handles and how each specific brush behaves and how it, getting used to it. So it's an extension of your hand. I appreciate that. All right, on Facebook, we have from Christine saying, thank you, Giovanni, Leticia, and all Daniel Smith team and friends around the world, wishing you a great Christmas celebration. And Sylvia says, thanks for all the presenters. It's a shimmering time of year. And just a lot of really good hellos and thank you for the answers and comments about how beautiful it is and how much they love the work that everybody's doing. So cheers on this side. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So kind. We have the best community. Look at that. I mixed iridescent copper and duochrome mauve for this like beautiful. I don't have words sometimes to describe, so sorry if I trail off. There's just no words. That's so pretty. Anytime I do a painting and I add the iridescence, I usually don't frame it or wax it. So normally I wax my paintings just to protect them and waterproof them. But if I use any iridescent, I will not, because I really want to keep that luminescence. All right, I think we can go back to Letty if she wants. Look at that opacity right there. It's so cool.
Yes, I have put the same colors, the same combination in the black paper or with cellulose paper. So again, so again, the Mountain Mauve, the electric blue and Santon, the electric blue and gold. This is the electric blue with the pearlescent white, and then the copper and mauve, and then this is the Adec gold and Mountain. But this is the effect. And then the simple colors and the pearlescent white. So you can see this is the gold, at the gold, copper, santon, electric blue, moonstone, and then the duochrome mauve here. Duochrome mauve is a little bit transparent. So it depends from if you dip the brush into the water. This is the pearlescent white and electric blue again. I love that with the gouache you can do some metallic work. So you can leave the brush with more paint on it. So these are very, very beautiful. Beautiful combination. Thank you.
Letty, I love that mix with the pearlescent and the blue, the iridescent electric blue. That's very pretty.
Yeah, it seems that you can get something like a blue pearl, like the duochrome blue pearl, but it's not a duochrome, so it's fully iridescent. So this is a strong shade of blue pearl. Very light, like a celestial color.
We have another question on Facebook, but first a comment from Sylvia. She says, Daniel Smith paints are the most exciting that I have ever found. Gratitude. She goes on to ask, how do you wax your paintings? Thanks. How interesting.
If Sylvia wants to message me on Facebook, I would love to go into that with her. It's a great
Usually, me
question.
and Giovanni, we don't wax any paintings. We put only under the glass if we want to save them from the dust.
Okay, shall we go and check? Oh, okay, we have Giovanni's camera and frame, but I think Anna is up with something. I saw her, Anna Candela. Okay, let's put her frame
Hello.
there. Hi.
Hi. No, I'm trying to follow Giovanni, but it's really not drying and it's how do you say, running into each other. But I have three colors that are watercolor and you cannot really see it, but I have oh, and it's wet. No, forget it. It's it's running all over. It's pearlescent white. This is the watercolor and this is the wash, and you can see how the opacity. I don't know if you can see it there. Oh, you know what? There. See, the top is watercolor and this is wash, pearlescent white. And this is iridescent electric blue, also watercolor, and that's iridescent gold running through, but that's the watercolor and this is the wash. So you can see the opacity of the wash. But
Thanks
if
for
I
comparing
can,
those.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's still wet. And this is
Let's
what happened
go.
here. It's still wet and it's running all over. So, and I was trying Letty's mix of iridescent electric blue and sunstone, and it's still wet as well.
Yeah,
I
you
can.
should use less water. Try with the mastone, so without the water.
Oh, yes, okay. And but if I can share, I can tell you of
Sure.
something that I did last year. I think I showed it once. I did a lot of
Wow.
sketches, but the final it's this one. And the final, this is the final sketch, but this is the final card I did. And all snowflakes were different to all the recipients. And I did it with French ultramarine and quinacridone rose, but here are the iridescents. Can you see? Sorry. And it's not wash, but I wanted you to see how pretty it really. Let's see if I can. Can you see it? Maybe not.
I saw the sparkle. Yeah.
You
Beautiful.
can?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Maybe there. Can you see some of the sparkle? But I think, you know, a very simple idea, and but with the shine, they go to different very Nice. And it was with iridescent vibrant raspberry, duochrome blue pearl. Those are the two. So sorry, it's not wash, but my favorite right now it's the duochrome mauve. That's very incredible. If you can
Your candle
have
this year, Anna's glowing. Your candle.
my
It's glowing.
oh well, more or less. And see, this is the wash for the mauve. It is so cool. And this I let it with water, which Ashley said not to put it too much water, but I really wanted to see what it went with water. And so very cool colors. Thank you, John. Thank you, Daniel Smith. They're awesome.
So welcome,
Anna, we're
Giovanni.
artists. We break those rules. Got to break the rules sometimes, right?
Yeah, but I'll try
Thank
what
you.
Letty said about not so much water because everything is like running all over the place. But it's super fun. I love it. So thank you for letting me
Thank you,
share.
Anna.
And happy
Thank you,
holidays,
Anna.
happy
Anna.
and now happy 2026.
Okay, we're gonna put in frame. Geo's back to Geo.
Yeah, now I use
Oh,
the mauve for the reflection in contouring. I use in the mask stone and push my brush very hard for have the huge brush strokes for the reflection. And when in the mauve when dry is perfect light, very light. I love this effect for is a dry brush techniques and use this. It's very funny. Thank you, John, for this gouache.
You are so welcome. Thank you for making it look so nice.
You're welcome. And after this, I apply the little point of iridescent gold. For the effect. And last, the pearlescent white. And continues when your creativity never stops. And continues the effect. I love this effect with gouache. Now it's very fast, but you have a passion, so you obtain a huge results for have this shade light. Okay, thank you.
that is incredible, Giovanni.
You're
Wow.
welcome. I'm very fast to paint, and I try every time for free my hand from my style. This is very important, and this activity is very important for me. It continues in this part with move. Sorry for my son voice, but I am not home with my wife.
He's part of the family. We love it. I've gone kind of rogue. I know I said just use it for accents, but I just couldn't help myself. So I mixed the iridescent, let's see, iridescent moonstone and iridescent copper. So these two right here, I mixed them to get this kind of, I don't know, this gray that leans red. I've gone rogue, guys. This is not my normal painting style, but we're having fun. So, but look how opaque it is. I can just cover up whatever I want. And then you can layer all day long. And like Giovanni was saying, the dry brush is really fun. You can kind of see all this dry brush going on over here. And when I tilt it, it's so shiny. I have to put my sunglasses on soon.
Yeah.
Well, Ashley, talking about Rogue, you were mentioning about the palette and doing it, and that's how I keep my wash actually, if you can see it. There you go. And I just wet it before, so it does work like this. And I've had it like this for over a year. And you just spray a little and it wets. And I know it's not out of the tube like Letty says, but it works really well. So it's rogue, but works.
Yeah, it does. And I feel like there's kind of two schools of thought on gouache. It's either straight out of the tube or dry. I prefer it dry just because I can work with it a little bit better. But Daniel Smith gouache is amazing.
I know, and it re-wets super excellent.
It does.
So there is a
Yes.
question about somebody asked about what about the layers with gouache? How many layers will hold up and not crack? On my experience, if you use a hard surface, so like a very, very thick watercolor paper, like 300 pound or 600 grams, you don't have any issue because the surface is very, very thick and can get many layers. And also with canvas, so it depends from your surface. Your surface is hard, the more many layers you can apply, on my opinion.
Also, if you start
Sorry.
your layers thin and then build up the layers, they hold up good too. Just start thinner.
Yeah.
Well,
And
if
the
you
other
dry
thing
brush.
about the gouache is I feel like it works really well on any paper. I really have used it on, I've used it on like sketchbooks that are literally just for sketching with a thin paper. It's just a lot of fun because you're using less water. And so you don't necessarily need really nice watercolor paper. So you can, oh, and it can be used on watercolor ground. And also, I was going to demo this today, but I didn't have time. Daniel Smith makes gesso, acrylic gesso, and the gouache plays on the gesso so beautifully. It's a really, really cool. It's a little different than watercolor ground because it's a little more shiny, I would say, where the watercolor ground is matte and absorbent. So look into that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun on watercolor ground.
John, can you can you tell your opinion on this? So beyond the acrylic gesso that work better with the gouache.
Well, as Ashley was saying, they're both different
Uh,
here. So as Ashley was saying, the gesso is going to be non-permeable, and the ground will be permeable at least until it dries. But either one will work and work really quite well. And I think the one thing that the Brandon Bachelors were saying over and over is the watercolor is watercolor, and the gouache is a water media. And it's the same pigment, but it's multiple times the pigment load. It is the same binder. They can be mixed back and forth. All the gouache is opaque. So if you add it to anything, you're going to add opacity. Um, and I love what I'm seeing. I just love to see uh, when all of you paint.
thank you.
That's nice, Gio.
It's glowing.
Yeah. I like Pinocchio. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Your Pinocchio's eyes, Ash, is very expressive.
I think he looks terrified. He's like, what is she doing to me?
Oh, we have Rupa. I think Rupa tried to do Gia subject here.
Oh my gosh, that looks awesome.
Let's
Thank you.
There you go.
Awesome,
Thank you,
Rupa.
Rupa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really enjoyed the tutorial. Yeah.
And then we have Diane who did Pinocchio. Oh, a combination. Thanks, Rupa. Look at
Thank
I
you.
love
Diane's.
that. Diane, that's awesome. I like the heart.
Thank you. Yeah, a balloon. This is Pinocchioette. So you're just gonna have a buddy. I don't have a lot of the gouache colors in the luminance, but I had a few, and I ordered the gold, and they sent me something different, so they didn't have the bright gold. But I had fun.
That's fun. I like all
And
your
I
brush
want to say about
marks.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say about the gouache. I just pulled my watercolor block and I look at the gouache. It's not going anywhere. It just stayed there and let me use it. So these would be great for outdoors, and you could even just work right on your block and have your little paint puddles there.
Very cool.
I can't see what you're seeing on there. Oh, there you go.
It's pretty.
That's awesome.
And
So I had
and the
fun.
Christmas
Thanks.
ball there next to your candle has the
Yeah.
pearl shimmer.
Yeah. Actually, it's just the golds. I didn't even put the pearl in there. I don't think I have that one.
What is your Pinocchio holding in his hand?
A brush, a paintbrush.
Oh,
What else would he have?
I thought it was a magic wand. Sorry.
Well, hey, brushes are magic, aren't they?
You know what?
Oh,
We're both
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, they are. But I don't have any white down here or anything, so I just had to use what I have. But it's fun to use what you have, and you discover things because you don't know what you can do unless you try. And there's a heart in the middle of my balloon too.
That.
Thanks, Diane.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for the paint, John. If
Oh,
you
you're
didn't
so
make it, we couldn't use it.
Yeah, we put everyone's artwork up here.
We have a lovely comment on Facebook from Tom saying, I've gotten some very interesting results using Daniel Smith iridescent watercolors as a base layer on standard white watercolor paper. When dry, finish with Daniel Smith transparent watercolors. Think stained glass water portrait background. It's a fun comment. Thank you.
Who else did we miss? Anna. Anna, would you hold your artwork, please? And we get there. Oh, Susan, also a red candle version.
Oh my gosh. You guys, I don't think you understand how fun it is when you guys participate and play along. So thank you.
It brings us
Yes.
so much joy.
So
Great
much.
work.
Rupa, can you please hold your artwork like a little up there? Thank you. Anyone else we miss? Yeah.
My Pinocchio's dancing. Happy about Daniel Smith paint. So happy. Oh my gosh.
Very nice, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
being here today. It's great to see all of you.
Thank
John,
you.
thanks for being the Willy Wonka to our candy because you bring us all
Thank-
the good stuff.
Thank you, everybody.
You light up our life.
I look forward to
You
seeing
light
you.
up our life, John.
Sharing.
Thank you.
Merry
Bye-bye,
Christmas.
everybody.
Wonderful
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
playing.
See you.
weekend.
Thank
Hope you have a wonderful
you.
weekend.
See you next
Bye.
week.